Hello students, we are doing the theory of effective demand. Module 2, Business Economics, Semester 3. According to the classical economists, there will always be the full employment in the enterprise's capitalist economy because the operation of Say's law and wage theory flexibility. So, a Say's laws and various other wage theories always focused on the level of full employment. They believe that this level of full employment, they believe that this level of full employment is a general case. It's a general case for every economy. However, JMKs argued they come under a severe attack during the Great Depression of the period 1930s. So JMK Keynes, he rejected the notion of full employment as a special case, but he called it as a he rejected the notion of the full employment as a general case, but pointed out that a full employment is nothing but a special case. Special case in a sense he will not have it again and again. It's generally and likely possible in a very unique circumstances. However, came in his book General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, which was published in 1936, he said that employment he said that the employment is a demand efficient theory. So whatever the employment that we calculate must be calculated using the demand model. So the can visualize his employment or unemployment theory on the form of a demand side of the model. So according to Keynes students, that volume of employment, your volume of employment volume of employment student can be calculated in fact in a country. Volume of employment in a country depends on the level of effective demand. So this volume of employment students entirely depend on what is the effective demand. So it's very important that we understand the concept of effective demand if we have to analyze the level of employment. So what is the volume of employment as per the Keynes, volume of employment in a country depends on the level of effective demand of the people for various forms of goods and services. Students, again, this classical economist, for example, says wherein a belief that such a concept or such a concern is only for long run. Such analysis must be done only in long run. However, the Kane argued that employment student is a short-term phenomenon. Employment is a short-term phenomenon. So it's very important that we model employment as in a short term, in a period of less than 1 year or 2 year, maybe. So after classical economy were concerned with the long run equilibrium, Keynes attached greater importance to the short term equilibrium. So let us expand our understanding on what is an effective demand. Yes, students will know that our employment depends on level of effective demand. Please take a note. Employment depends on level of effective demand. Now, how do we calculate this effective demand? What are the determinants of effective demand? So students, the next question that arises in our mind is, sir, what is the effective demand? So students, if you have to answer this, what is an effective demand? It implies a total expenditure. Effective demand क्या है? It's total expenditure. But sir, total expenditure में क्या क्या आएगा sir? What should we include? Yes. So what should we include? We should include two components, students. One is expenditure made on consumption good, and expenditure made on investment good, students. Expenditure made on consumption good can be called as consumption expenditure, and expenditure made on investment good, student, can be called as an investment expenditure. So what is an effective demand now? An effective demand is total expenditure which is made on consumption expenditure and investment expenditure at a particular level. So effective demand is nothing but a combination of consumption expenditure plus investment expenditure. Consumption expenditure again क्या है? Expenditure made on consumption good. Investment expenditure क्या है? Investment made on investment commodities. In expenditure made on investment good. Yes, students. So how do we model effective demand? How do we model effective demand? So that's the next question. How do we model an effective demand? So according to K, effective demand is determined by two factors. That is, understand, determinant of effective demand. So determinants of effective demand, students. First is aggregate demand price. First one is aggregate demand price, students. And second one is aggregate supply price. How do we model an effective demand? So there are two different determinants of effective demand. One is aggregate demand price, another is aggregate supply price. Yes, student. So level of employment depends on effective demand, and effective demand depends on aggregate demand price and aggregate supply price. So it's very important that we take a note of what is an aggregate demand price and what is an aggregate supply price. And using an aggregate demand price and using an aggregate supply price, हमें effective demand कैसे मिलेगा? How are we going to calculate an effective demand? So let's first understand what is an aggregate demand price. So let us understand what is an aggregate demand price. So students, to understand an aggregate demand price, let us take an example of a shirt. Suppose if a producer is selling a shirt, a common shirt brand, shirt, let's say unit, he sells one unit. Then we have cost of production, COP, So how much cost does it take to produce one shirt? How much cost does it take to produce one shirt for the particular producer? Let's, for our example, let us say it takes rupees 300 for a producer to produce a single shirt. Whereas, let's say if he believes that I should charge a price of rupees 400. Let me align this. So one shirt, I'm producing one unit. I'm producing one unit, student. Let me draw this. Stick here on top itself. We're almost there. Right. So we are producing, if we are producing a one shirt, student, if we are producing one shirt, our cost of production is 300, and the price that we are expected that we are going to charge, that is a maximum retail price, which is 400. Again, student, the question arises that if we are producing two shirts, then if we simply multiply 2 by 300, we will get 600. And the maximum price that we are going to charge is 4 by 2. We are assuming that the price remains constant as the cost of production remains constant. So the price that we are going to charge for two shirts is 800. Here, students, the aggregate demand price is the amount of money which entrepreneur expect to receive from the sale of output produced at a particular level of employment. इसका मतलब क्या होगा? As we are producing one unit, what I expect to receive जब मैं इसे बेचूंगा, what I expect to receive is rupees 400. So in this case, student, rupees 400, student, is my aggregate demand price. Rupees 400 is my aggregate demand price. Again, students, if I expect to sell 2 unit, if I expect to sell 2 unit of commodity of shirt, मेरा एक्सपेक्टेशन ये रहेगा कि मुझे कितने पैसे मिलेंगे सेल करने से? 800 rupees. So students, my aggregate demand price is nothing but 8. So what is an aggregate demand price? हमें सेल करने के बाद मैक्सिमम अमाउंट कितना मिलना चाहिए, which is nothing but your maximum retail price is your aggregate demand price. So what is an aggregate demand price? It's an aggregate demand price is the amount of money which entrepreneur expect to receive after the sale of output produced at a particular level of employment. So अगर मैं आउटपुट सेल करूंगा पर्टिकुलर लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट में, व्हाट इज द अमाउंट दैट आई एम गोइंग टू रिसीव? तो एक यूनिट रहेगा तो 400 रुपये, 2 यूनिट रहेगा तो 800 रुपये. सो व्हाट इज सेज एडीपी इन फर्स्ट केस इज 400, ईडीपी इन सेकंड केस इज 800. So I hope you have followed what is an aggregate demand price. Maximum price मुझे कितना मिलेगा? अगर समझो मैं वाटर बॉटल बना रहा हूँ, if I am selling, if I am producing this water bottle, students, so cost of producing this water bottle 4 rupees or 6 rupees रहेगा, but I am selling it for 10 rupees. So maximum demand price that I am charging for it is 10. So ADP in this case is 10 rupees. Follow? So let us see how we are going to use an aggregate demand price. So students, 1 second, please. Just got to it. पानी गिर गया, मैं थोड़ा इसको साफ करूंगा. So how we are going to use the aggregate demand price? Students, aggregate demand price, in fact, a combination of aggregate demand price and the level of employment will help us to calculate the aggregate demand schedule. So हमें इसे draw करना पड़ेगा student. Let us see how we are going to draw. What we are going to use in here, we are going to use aggregate demand price and aggregate. Let us draw a figure. So we have in here we have x-axis O as an origin. On x-axis we'll define aggregate demand price. On x-axis, student will define aggregate demand price. Slightly difficult to write, so it's taking a little bit more time. On y-axis, we'll have level of employment, volume of employment, kind of. We have here volume of employment on y-axis. Now let us see how do we use a combination of aggregate demand price and volume of employment to calculate aggregate demand schedule. Students, please take into account. More the level of employment, let's say employment को हम इधर डिपिक्ट करते हैं point E से. If more the level of employment, students, in fact, we are going to sell more amount of output. हम लोग ज़्यादा बनाएंगे, प्रोड्यूस करेंगे एंड हम ज़्यादा बेच भी पाएंगे. So we'll have increase in aggregate demand price as well. So more and more we produce, more and more we charge for our commodity, and in fact our aggregate demand price get increased. So I hope this is clear. So effective demand, sorry, the volume of employment E increases with increase with aggregate demand price. So combination of this जो भी रहेगा, it will always be positive. It will always be positive. हम लोग अभी ये positive slope बनाएंगे, which is an upward sloping curve in aggregate demand curve, which is an upward sloping curve. It is upward sloping, student, but it slopes at a reducing rate. So what do we have here? We have an aggregate demand curve or aggregate demand schedule. Again, student, this aggregate demand curve is an upward sloping, but it is at a diminishing rate, student. Yes, so aggregate demand price is an upward sloping curve, but at a diminishing rate. So combination of volume of employment on y-axis and aggregate demand price on x-axis, we get aggregate demand curve. So please take a note of this. Now we are going to do is to understand what is an aggregate demand, aggregate supply price. Aggregate demand price कर लिया हम लोग ने, अभी हम लोग करेंगे aggregate supply price. Students, what is an aggregate supply price first? Let us understand. अब जैसे aggregate demand price था, हाँ, जैसे स्टूडेंट्स हम लोग का एग्रीगेट डिमांड प्राइस था, मैक्सिमम वैल्यू था, इट वाज अ मैक्सिमम वैल्यू, है कि नहीं? इनफैक्ट इट वाज अ मैक्सिमम वैल्यू. सो सेम टेबल अभी मैं यही बनाऊंगा. व्हाट वी आर डूइंग राइट नाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई एग्रीगेट सप्लाई प्राइस. Aggregate supply price. So what is an aggregate supply price? Same table we are going to use. Aggregate supply price. What we are selling is a short 1 unit. We'll draw a table first. If we produce 1 unit, if we produce 2 units, oh, we are there now. So what we are producing is a short. If we a unit, if we produce 1 unit, if we are producing 2 unit, then we have cost of production. For 1 unit, the cost of production was 300. And what was the maximum price that we charge, or an aggregate demand price? 400 for first unit. For producing a 2 unit, we charge for producing a 2 unit student. What was the cost of production? It should be 600, and the price charge was in fact 800. So now we need to take attention here. This was an aggregate. This was student and in fact an aggregate demand price. Even for two commodity, this was an aggregate demand price. This was the maximum value. Now if we are selling a commodity student, we must at least have something in our hand. जितना भी हम प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं कुछ तो हमें रिटर्न में आना चाहिए, so we can cover up the cost. So we must expect something minimum to cover up the cost. So if I am selling a 1 unit और market काफी low है, I must at least get minimum 300 rupees so I can cover up my cost. In this case, if I am producing 300 units student, if I am producing 300 units, I should get minimum 300 rupees, right, to cover up my cost. Otherwise मुझे loss हो रहा है and मैं loss में नहीं deal करना चाहता. If I am selling 2 units, I must be able to cover up minimum 600 rupees, है कि नहीं? Minimum 300 in first case, minimum 600 in second case. So this minimum value is called as an aggregate supply price. Again, this minimum value for second unit is can be called as an aggregate supply price. So what is an aggregate supply price? It's a minimum value that you must get for your commodity. It's a minimum value that you must get for your commodity students. I hope you are following. So aggregate supply price nothing but production cost of production, in fact. So aggregate supply price nothing but your production cost, kharcha. So we understood what is an aggregate demand price, and we understood what is an aggregate supply price. We have drawn aggregate demand schedule. Now we'll draw an aggregate supply schedule. That is the aggregate supply schedule kaise banega? Again, we'll use the same thing, same kind of form of a modeling. We'll have an aggregate supply curve. We have an aggregate supply price on x-axis and aggregate demand price on y-axis. Aggregate supply price on y-axis and aggregate um, in volume of employment on x-axis. Sorry for that. So students, we have y-axis, we have x-axis, y, x was an origin. We have volume of employment on x-axis. Then we have aggregate supply price on y-axis. So students, in the task here to draw the aggregate supply schedule using aggregate supply price and volume of employment. So we have already drawn the aggregate demand curve schedule and अभी हम लोग draw करेंगे aggregate supply schedule. Let us draw using the. In fact, before drawing this, I'd like to highlight one point in here that we cannot supply more than what is our capacities. अब इसके बारे में मतलब क्या? What I'm saying is we cannot supply more than our capacity. मतलब at a certain stage, our volume of employment will become full. यानी क्या है? इससे ज़्यादा हम लेबर एम्प्लॉय नहीं कर सकते. रीजन इज बिकॉज लेबर्स आर फाइनाइट नंबर्स. उसको हम जितना चाहिए उतना एक्सपांड नहीं करेंगे. सो एट ए सर्टेन पॉइंट द वॉल्यूम ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट विल बी फुल. तो उससे ज़्यादा हम सप्लाई लेबर का नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि सारे लोग एम्प्लॉयड हो गए. अभी और कोई बचा नहीं, तो हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू सप्लाई मोर. सो इकोनॉमी विल रीच आउट अ पॉइंट वेर वी हैव अ फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. तो ये जो ब्लू लाइन है, दिस ब्लू लाइन इज नथिंग बट अ पॉइंट ऑफ फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. ब्लू लाइन इज नथिंग बट अ पॉइंट ऑफ फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. इससे आगे हम प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर सकते स्टूडेंट. ठीक है. सो वी कैनॉट सप्लाई मोर. अभी हम लोग ड्रॉ करेंगे यूजिंग अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सप्लाई प्राइस, एग्रीगेट सप्लाई प्राइस एंड वॉल्यूम ऑफ employment. We are going to draw an aggregate supply schedule. So an aggregate supply schedule will be again a positive curve, but it will increase at an increasing rate, student. It will increase at a very increasing rate till the point at it touches the level of full employment. क्योंकि देखो दिस विल नॉट गो हियर, इस ये नहीं आएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि वॉल्यूम ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट इतना ही है, तो यहाँ पे आके खत्म होगा. और उसके बाद दिस विल अगेन इनफैक्ट बी अ कंप्लीट स्ट्रेट लाइन आफ्टर दिस पॉइंट. स्टूडेंट, दिस विल अगेन बी अ कंप्लीट स्ट्रेट लाइन. क्योंकि इसके राइट साइड में नहीं जाएगा. लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट फुल हो गया है, इसके आगे हम सप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. वी कैन नॉट एम्प्लॉय फर्दर मोर अमाउंट ऑफ लेबर. यस, एग्रीगेट सप्लाई प्राइस विल गो अप, बट वॉल्यूम ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट राइट साइड में शिफ्ट नहीं होगा. इस वजह से ये कर्व इसके बाद सिर्फ और सिर्फ वर्टिकल होगा. सो दिस कर्व, लेट मी जस्ट यूज द इरेजर फर्स्ट. So this curve, student, here is our aggregate supply schedule. Aggregate supply schedule or a curve. So we have in fact find out what is an aggregate demand curve and aggregate supply curve. So students, using a combination of aggregate demand curve and aggregate supply curve, we are going to find out the level of employment using an effective demand. Okay? So using a supply and a demand, we are going to get an effective demand. A combination of supply and demand equilibrium will be an effective demand. तो हम लोग अभी यहाँ पे ड्रॉ करेंगे aggregate demand schedule. Again, it starts over the origin से भी start कर सकते हैं. मैंने पहले डायग्राम में नहीं किया, but it should start over the origin. Again, ये कैसा कर्व है? It is an upward sloping curve, but at a diminishing rate. So this is our aggregate demand curve. The point of intersection of aggregate supply curve and aggregate demand curve is nothing. I'm denoting it as an effective demand. What is, sorry, I'm noting it as an E. Now, what is this E? E is our effective demand. Yes, students. So we have calculated the point of effective demand. Intersection between aggregate supply curve and aggregate demand curve is our effective demand. So using the effective demand, students, we can calculate the level of employment. अभी हम लोग ने देखा था हाउ डू वी कैलकुलेट द लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट यूजिंग एन इफेक्टिव डिमांड. और इफेक्टिव डिमांड कैसे मिलेगा? एग्रीगेट सप्लाई कर्व और एग्रीगेट डिमांड कर्व से. सो वी कैन कैलकुलेट द वॉल्यूम ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. इसके लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? फ्रॉम पॉइंट ई टू एक्स एक्सिस वी आर गोइंग टू ड्रॉ अ सिंपल लाइन, इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन. एक परपेंडिकुलर रहेगा ये एक्स एक्सिस पे. लेट्स जस्ट नोट दिस पॉइंट एज NE, and E stands for level of employment. Now, what is an NE here? Please take a note. NE is actual level of employment. NE is actual level of employment student. यानी इकोनॉमी में एक्चुअली कितने लोग एम्प्लॉयड है इज 0 to NE. From this point 0 to NE, these are the people who are actually employed. Whereas student, अगर हम ONF which is a full level of employment में से full actual labor employed निकालेंगे ONE, what we are going to get is this gap NE and F. I'm going to highlight this gap. ये देखो from this point NE to NF, ये वाला region. This is the place student. This is called as this is the level of unemployment. This is in fact a level of unemployment. So 0 to NE is what your actual employment. NE और NF के में से जो gap है is your unemployment. NF is the level of full employment. उतने लोग हैं हमारे पास, वो सारे काम कर सकते हैं. But हमने हमारे इकोनॉमी में कितने employed है? Only till NE. So NE is your actual level of employment. ONF minus अगर हम ONE करेंगे, we get a rate of unemployment. Now the task with us is to reduce this amount. हमें क्या करना है? ये अमाउंट को, ये जो गैप है इसको हमें रिड्यूस करना है. Now how do we reduce this gap? There are possible solutions, students. What is the first and alternate? Our first solution for it is to increase aggregate demand. Aggregate demand को upward shift करना है. Now students, if we upward shift the aggregate demand, just have a look. How do we fill this gap? We have to upward shift the aggregate demand. If we upward shift this aggregate demand, it will intersect. Yes, students. So if we upward shift this aggregate demand, I'll write this as an aggregate demand 2. This is aggregate demand 1. अभी हमारा point of intersection क्या है? Let's say, let's call this as E2, ये E1. So point of intersection is new effective demand, which is E2. अगर हमें यहाँ से वॉल्यूम ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट डिटरमाइन करना है तो देखो दिस इज द लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट विच इज इनफैक्ट एनएफ. अभी हमें लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्या मिला? एनएफ. नाउ एनएफ इज द एक्चुअल लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. अगेन एनएफ इज द फुल लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. और एनएफ माइनस एनएफ इज जीरो, तो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. So all the people in our economy are actually employed. So what is the task that we should do? What is suggested by Keynes? हमें क्या करना चाहिए? हमें क्या करना चाहिए? हमें हमारा एग्रीगेट डिमांड को पुश करना चाहिए upward. Now, what are the steps to shift the aggregate demand? What are the process to shift the aggregate demand? Can be studied in the subsequent lectures. So this is where I end. Let us revise everything. What was the classical approach? कि फुल लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट एक जनरल केस है, सारी इकोनॉमी फुल लेवल ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट में पहुंच जाएंगे. बट स्टूडेंट दिस इज अ लॉन्ग रन इक्विलिब्रियम स्टडी. बट केन्स पॉइंटेड आउट कि ये जो लॉन्ग रन स्टडी है ये अभी काम नहीं करेगी, बिकॉज एट द टाइम ऑफ 1936 ग्रेट डिप्रेशन हम देख सकते थे कि पूरे वर्ल्ड में काफी काफी तरह से सॉरी काफी तरह से अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का रेट हाई था. So this gap was very huge. This gap between NEF to NF was very huge. So it's very important that we model unemployment or employment in a short term, so we can solve the problem of this drastic unemployment. So how do we calculate the level of employment? Using an effective demand. Effective demand क्या है? It's a combination of aggregate demand price and aggregate supply price. So using an aggregate demand price, we got an aggregate demand curve. Using aggregate supply price, we got an aggregate supply curve. And combination of aggregate demand and supply curve, we got an effective demand. और effective demand से हमें पता चलेगा what is the level of employment. अब वो हमें पता चलने के बाद we can see whether the level of employment is high, low. अगर low है तो let us look after what is the possible solution. One of the solution is shifting up and aggregate demand upward. ठीक है, higher. So we'll wind up this session. Thank you very much.